Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you remember on my last episode on the channel here, we bought a 71 Highboy. We brought it home. I wasn't expecting on buying this truck or even buying a truck in general, but we ended up with it and we brought it home. And I know what you guys are thinking, man, I know what Matt needs is another old Ford truck to work on. Well, I have a plan with this one. I want to fill you guys in, so let's go dig into it. Alright guys, like I said, I do have a plan for this thing, but before I fill you guys in with that, let me just show you around the truck. Basically, it is just a 71 Ford Highboy. It originated out of Colorado. The people I got it from were in Kansas, but they got it out of Colorado. So it does have a Colorado tag on the back. And the last time it looks like it was registered was 98. So that's what the tag says. Anyway, it came from Delta, Colorado, which is kind of on the western slope over there. So it's kind of a little bit of a high country Highboy. It does have some rust. A lot of those trucks like to be nice and dry, but this one unfortunately has a little bit of rust in it in a few of the common places. But the floor pans and the cab corners are good, which is nice because those are kind of the major areas. See, the cab corners are nice and the floors are in one piece, but it does have the ever so common fender rot on the bump sides. This one's the better one. Have a little bit on the door, and of course the cab mounts are starting to rust out, but at least they're still holding the truck up. That's the biggest thing. You can kind of get away with them when they're like that for a while, but you know, eventually they are gonna start sagging out. This one's a little bit worse. It looks like the bottom's starting to give out on that. And same thing with this fender here. A lot bigger hole here. But like I said, the floor and the cab corners are pretty good. So we're doing pretty all right. And the rockers are good. So that's another good thing. Once you get that deep into rust, then it starts to be a problem. But I think it's manageable on this truck, and that's kind of why I brought it home. But, you know, there's things about it that are kind of hurting it for a leave it alone patina kind of build. And that's stuff like this here, this big whammy on that door. And there's one over here in the corner of the cab. You know, that's pretty bad there. But that kind of I guess it kind of leads me to my my plans with this truck. I think we're going to do a just down and dirty, get it running and driving kind of a build with this thing, and not worry about making it perfect, not worrying about making it good. Just make it running and driving, and be just a nice driver Highboy, kind of like my ranch truck. Kind of, you know, basically the same thought process I had with that truck, which was replace all the stuff that needs replaced and don't replace the stuff that doesn't need replaced. And you know, when you drive it down the road for 3, 4, 5, 6,000 miles, you might need to replace some more stuff. But for now, I think we're just going to get it back on the road. Obviously, we're missing the big part right here, which is the engine. Luckily, I have like 5 or 6 FE engines hanging around here. There's one right there. We can find one to shove in this thing, no problem. But yeah, I know you're probably thinking, man, this guy needs another Ford truck to work on. Don't you have the Ultimate Crew Cab and the 67 Crew Cab well underway? Shouldn't you be working on those? And the answer is yes. But those projects, for one of them I'm not selling. So that's a knock there on the budget for that one. And the second one, the 67 Crew Cab, I'm like months and months and months and months and months away from being close to being finished with that one. So that leaves me with a big gap in income here for the shop, major income with like selling trucks and stuff. So I think this is going to be a nice in-between project. I've been looking for one for a while, and just with the value of the trucks nowadays, it's been harder and harder to find good starter projects or easy projects. and I just haven't found one. But this one showed up whenever I went to take that crew cab back to those guys up there that was stolen, and they offered me to buy this truck. So I brought it home. I thought this would be a fun project, just be quick. We'll get it done in a few episodes and see if I can get it moved down the road. I don't know how I'm going to market it yet. We'll just see how it turns out. So that is my overall plans with this truck. I think it would be a cool truck just to, you know, a beater Highboy. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It'll still be cool because it's a Highboy. So we're definitely going to have to change the wheels because I'm not a big fan of these. We're going to have to do some white steelies. I'm not sure on tires. I really like the idea of doing bias plies on something like this because it just kind of fits the theme of the old beat up Highboys to have bias plies. I have bias plies on my range truck, but the radials, like it's on my Ultimate Highboy over here, they drive a lot better. So we'll see what I end up with on this. I kind of not sure. But another interesting thing about this truck is I originally thought it was white. I don't know what you guys think in the camera, but man, it sure looks white to me. But then you start looking closer at the interior, and you think, is that blue? Is it light blue? But then you look back on the outside, like on the bed here, and you're like, no, that's white, isn't it? That's white. And then I saw, when I was unloading it, I saw on the keychain, it says light blue, but it says 72. They got the year wrong, but it says light blue. So I'm like, maybe it is light blue. So you think, well, Matt, look at the door tag, but the door tag's missing. So we don't have that to go off of. I did order a Marty Report. I'll probably have one, have it today. So we'll see what the Marty Report says anyway. But you look here, and I mean, I know they have sky blue, and that's a real light blue, but that doesn't give me any blue vibes. Now, this door could be changed, and that's why we're missing the VIN tag. But, you know, you go in here, and man, that looks pretty blue to me. So I think we're dealing with a sky blue truck that maybe had a repaint, or it is just really faded and looks white. So I don't know yet. That might be a problem because I know I'm talking a lot, guys, but I have a lot to tell you. So that might be a problem because there's no hood on here, and that is because, one, the engine's gone, but two, the previous owners that were from Colorado, they were hauling this truck, and the hood flipped up on them, and that pretty much destroyed that hood, and it busted the glass out. So it has a new glass in it and a new gasket, but the guys I got it from, they had a hood that they found that it matched it, which the patina, it does match really nice, but this one is for sure a white hood. So I don't know if we're going to get away with it because of the patina and maybe make it match, or maybe the outside is white and it's going to match. So I think I'm going to try to shove this hood on here, and just to see, before I get too deep into it, if I'm going to have a hood that doesn't match this truck, it really puts a damper on my plans for this thing. So let's see if we can get it on there and see how it looks. Okay, got the hood on, and just how I feared, it doesn't exactly match. I can tell this hood is definitely Wimbledon white, how creamy it is. Let me get my shadow out of the way. It's probably going to be harder to see on camera, so I don't know if that is enough to worry about on a patina truck, or if that is going to be just sticking out like a sore thumb once I get it cleaned up. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys think. Is that bad enough to kind of kill my plans of the project? You can kind of see it there, how the different colors are. So I'm gonna have to think on that. But in the meantime, I guess I could poke you around the truck a little bit more. We got some West Coast Junior mirrors, some swing locks, blue trim interior. So we have the blue steering column, we have blue panels for the doors, and lots of new parts in here. Like I said, this is a gauge bezel for like a 70 or 68, 69, and a bunch of gasket kits. And then we also have stuff like window felts and a bunch of that kind of stuff. Starter, alternator, bunch of just random engine parts, horn relay, so all that kind of stuff, engine mounts, some kind of Chinese wiring kit. Not sure I'll be using that, but I guess I could put it on the shelf to use for something. I think it's universal. But yeah, I mean, the bones of this thing are pretty good. It's just hasn't been kept up for a while and just been sitting, so it has a lot of stuff it needs. The brakes do work, so that is a plus. We used the brakes when we unloaded it here. Get a peek under here. There's the Dana 24. It is very greasy, but it does have a Y pipe still and a factory style muffler. I don't know if it's factory muffler, and it still has the 2-inch tailpipe. These trucks had a 2-inch tailpipe from the factory with a 2.5-inch going in the muffler, so I don't know why they reduced it to 2-inch, but it still has it, which is kind of surprising because most of the time those were gone. Drive shafts are pretty tight, which is good. The transfer case is all nice and tight. Just everything's greasy, so this thing needs a good cleaning under here. I need to check all the bushings in the springs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the majority of the rust is unfortunately in the fenders, where you can see it, and in the cab mounts. So overall, I think it's a pretty decent truck. It's still above average on the Highboys that I've brought home, so that's nice. So yeah, I'm kind of up in the air. I guess we'll see what the Marty Report says, and we'll go from there. Well, guys, I got the Marty Report from Kevin Marty, and it does confirm that it is a diamond blue truck. I'll put it up here on the screen here so you guys can go through it with me at the same time. So yeah, the diamond blue part is pretty surprising, considering I thought it was white when I bought it. But you know, that's kind of cool that it's a rare color. They only made 201 of these Highboys in 71 in diamond blue. That's also disappointing because it is such a rare color, and it's going to be near impossible to find a patinaed diamond blue hood for this thing. I'm still going to try. I'm not going to stop trying until the truck has left my possession, but I put that at a pretty doubtful level of accomplishment for a goal on this project. You know, standard stuff on this, built in San Jose. Let's see if it has the San Jose style of shock mounts, and it does. So whenever I've worked on these trucks in the past, I've always noticed that the San Jose trucks, the shock towers are bolted in between the cab or the motor mounts. If you can see this bolt here, these two here, and these two here, I'm not sure what that piece of plate steel is there, but these two are the cab mount, not cab, engine mount that hold the pedestals for the engine. And then the shock mount has its own two bolts right here. And there's these other locations here. That's for the 6-cylinder trucks. The pedestals move forward. So these two holes would be for the 6-cylinder pedestals and up here. So they're moved forward slightly. On a Kansas City truck, this shock tower is mounted on these two bolt holes here. We're talking V8 trucks here. So the shock is kind of angled back slightly. So that's just something interesting I've noticed with the San Jose trucks. They also do, I'm not going to be able to show you because this hood doesn't have hood hinges on it. Let's see if I can pick it up enough to show you. Yep, right there on the inner fender, it overlaps the front valence here, the upper valence on the Kansas City trucks. Now I'm only talking San Jose to Kansas City because that's what I'm familiar with. There are some other manufacturing plants across the country that they built these things at, so it might be different. I haven't seen enough trucks to confirm any of that, but on Kansas City trucks, the upper valence is on top of the inner fender there, so they just built them different, which is kind of funny. But that is just some trivia for you guys. Continuing looking at the Marty Report, it was a stock item, so it was ordered. The dealership ordered it for stock on their lot, and that is also apparent on the important dates column there. So it was released from the factory on 12/16 of 70, and it wasn't sold until May 26th of 71. So it sat on the lot for quite a while. Either that, or they used it as a dealer promotional vehicle or something, or you know, the boss's kid drove it for a while or something of that nature. So Albuquerque, New Mexico, Frontier Ford. Wanted to show you something here that is related to that. It has the dealer sticker on the back there, so that's pretty cool. I always like seeing that, just kind of a little bit of piece of history with the truck. So that's probably the original tailgate for this truck. Moving on with the Marty Report, custom package, oil pressure gauges, all the standard option stuff isn't very out of the ordinary. It doesn't have any mirrors on the option list, so it probably would have just had one mirror right here, and that's why we have the holes here for the little side mirrors here. These were optional, but these were added at a later date, but they are Fumoco mirrors, so they are Ford mirrors. So just an interesting piece of history. And it also has a spare tire carrier on the options list, and we still have the spare tire carrier down there. So just a little bits of history of this truck are still here. Let's see what else we can tell from the Marty Report. Yeah, so not much else that's really out of the ordinary or special on the Marty Report, but it's still cool to see. And we know for a fact that it is diamond blue now. So once you put this Wimbledon white hood on it, every time you look at it, you can see the blue tint. But if you don't look at the hood first and just look at the truck, it looks super white. But then I park one of my other white trucks next to it and it looks blue again. So it's kind of one of those transforming colors. And I'm sure if it was new and fresh paint, it would look a little bit deeper blue than this. But it's pretty faded now, so I guess the oxidation kind of makes it white. You know, so I've had a few days to think about this and what I'm going to do with this truck. And I'm not going to do my original plan of make it like a patina build the way I would want to do a patina build, with the chassis being all 100% perfect and restored, and you know, the exterior being nice but just weathered. So since this truck is such kind of a beat up shape, you know, it's not terrible. I don't want to make it sound like this truck is just beat to crap. It's pretty good shape still. It's pretty nice and straight, but it does have issues with it. You know, just small issues here and there that either dents or rust. That's I think I would be disappointed if I spent all that time and money on the chassis and everything else without doing something to take care of those spots. And plus the hood here, you know, just how much time and effort and energy do I want to put into it? So my plan with it is basically just to get it running. You know, I'm not gonna do a restoration on it. I'm not gonna do a even a rebuild on the full chassis and all that stuff. I'm just gonna make it run and drive. Go through the stuff that needs gone through, you know, check all the U-joints, check the brakes. Since I have brake hardware, I'll probably replace the drum or the shoes, you know, that kind of stuff. Check the wheel bearings, service the differentials, the transfer case, all that kind of stuff, and I'll steam clean the whole chassis. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing leaf springs or not. I'll have to check the bushings on stuff, but we might end up doing leaf springs just to help revitalize the suspension on this thing and do shocks, you know, and I'll have to put an engine in it. You know, and just stuff like that, and just make it a nice driver highboy, kind of like my my ranch truck I built. So we'll be doing that with a build series on this truck. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it. I guess I could call it the white blue highboy, but I'm not sure. If you guys have any ideas, leave them down in the comments down below. I'll probably just call it the 71 highboy for now, and we'll just kind of see what we come up with. I have a few options for engines. I have several 360s, which would be what this thing has from the factory, and I have a couple of 390s that are probably not runners. I know for sure that that's a 390, but I know it's not a runner because it's locked up. So I have several options like that. We'll go through it at a later date on this truck, in a build series with this truck, and I'm probably going to get going on this thing pretty quickly after I get the 67 crew cab to media blasting. I'll probably get going on this thing, just kind of get a build plan together and start getting parts together and see how quickly we can get this thing done. If you guys want to see me build this truck on the channel, hit the subscribe so you can see that happen, and give me a like if you like this truck. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.